the first question is asking us to write 17,017 in figures, and we directly go down to work and begin to look at the concepts that we need to understand or we need to know. Right, down here I'm looking at the question that is 17,000. When you are writing 17,000, you write first 17,000 in the normal numbers. There is 17,000 and 17 in figures, and then 17. Make sure that your numbers align with their positions in the unit form. We have units to units, tens to tens, thousands to thousands, 10,000s to 10,000s, as you can see there. And then principally, you just make the addition there, and you get your answer there as 17,017. That will be perfect. Question 2 tells us to find the number of minutes from 1758 to 7:13 p.m. So again, we follow through with the working. I've already done the working here to save time. So the question is asking us to look at our time difference between 1758 in 24-hour system to 7:13 p.m. That is a 12-hour system. Right. So in this case, the first step 1 is to make your times uniform. You have to change the 12 to 24 hours, and that means 7:13 p.m. you add 12 to change from the 12-hour system to 24-hour system. We add 12. That is changing from 12-hour system. Okay, you add 12. Okay, 12, and the vice versa is true. Okay, and the vice versa will be correct. So in this case, when we add 12 hours to 7:13, we're gonna get 1913 hours. We write them as hours since 24-hour system, so we just like 1913 hours. Then step number 2, because we are looking at the time difference between 1758 and 1913, we subtract the 2, and there we go. Now when you are subtracting time, you can directly use your calculator. If you're using your calculator, then you on the calculator, then you search on the screen of on the tab of the calculator, the keyboard. You can see a button written there, deg. It has a D, degrees, and we have minutes, and we have seconds. So you can directly work with that one, or we can do the manual one. So if you're using the calculator directly, which is required for your education, that is for your IGCSE, and then we will just go directly and work like this. We go 19, and then see the button there, minutes, see what comes on the screen there. So those are hours. Then 13 minutes. It's already there. We have 13 minutes. You can see that apostrophe there represents minutes. Then we do the subtraction. We are subtracting 17 hours. You can see that 17 hours and 58 minutes already there. Okay, then we equal, and that gives you 1 hour 15 minutes directly. Okay, if you are doing manual, here, you will have to go back to the question after this arrangement. Then we subtract, and remember we are looking at 13 minutes subtracting 58 minutes. That's impossible, so you have to borrow 1 or take away 1 from here. which means you are taking a whole hour from the side of the hours, which will be 60 minutes. Then you add to this 13, and that will give you 73 minutes, and then you subtract your 58 there. The balance will be 15 minutes, and then we are left with 18 minus 17. That gives you 1. So we have 1 hour, 15 minutes, and the question, if you go back to the question, it tells us that we should express our answer in minutes, and therefore we change the 1 hour 15 minutes 1 hour 15 minutes, we change it all to 50 minutes, and that means where we have hours, we convert them to minutes by multiplying with 60, because 1 hour is 60 minutes, and therefore that means we have 60 plus 15, and the answer will be 75 minutes. Now you can look at that. That's a question that is about that's taking 1 mark. Is a 1 mark question, and therefore it is expected that you work with great speed. You can just directly go to your calculator, do the subtraction, and then convert to minutes. But I went through all these stages for the sake of those who are probably have forgotten this concept, or are doing it for the first time. Right, then we can proceed to the next question. Question 3 is a 2 mark question, and says that the number of cars parked in a park at 9 a.m. is recorded for 10 days, and the results are shown there. We are asked to complete the stem and leaf diagram. So this question comes from the statistics. It's a 2 mark question, so it requires just step working. As you can see there, just filling. And we're given a key there to guide us on how we're going to complete the stem and leaf diagram. The stem, we can just quickly go back down there. This is the stem there. We have a stem there. This line represents the stem, and this represents the leaves, and here we have the numbers. Now, we're looking at these numbers here closely. We can see if it is 123, with on the side of the stem, we give it a 12, and then we position 3 there. Depending on how many numbers are there which are in that range, or with 12, between the range of 120 to 129. So this is a simple task, looking at 10 there, so we can go straight away to the working right now. Move to work here. So from the contents that were given there, if I can just transfer them here quickly, we had 124, we have 130, we have 129, we have 116, 132, 120, 127, 107, 118, and 114. Okay, so now we begin to look at the first numbers start from 10 as given there on the guideline 10. So let's look at the range between 10 and 119. How many numbers are there? That's the numbers of 10. Sorry, that's the number between 100 and 109. Let's look at which numbers are there, and quickly we realize, there is only 107, so it will be 107. So we write 7 there on that leaf. Then we get into the numbers between, that is 110 to 119. So we start with 114, and it goes to 116, and then 118. So we will have 4, 114, 116, 118. So it will be 4, 6, 8 there. Then we got the range of 120 to 129. And from the numbers there, we have 120. We have 0, 120. Then the next number there becomes 124. So you write 4 there. The next is 127. So we put 7 there. And then 129, we put 9 there. Right. And we go to the range of 130 to 100, and that is 130 to 139. And we can see right there 130, we have 130 there, and the next number is 132. So we write 2 there, and that solves our problem as the question demanded. Thank you. Hope you are enjoying and understanding as well. Thank you. Question 4 leads us to numbers again, back to numbers. And part A is telling us to write that number there, 6789, correct to the nearest 100. And the part B of it is asking us to write the same number to 3 significant figures. So here we have a little bit of deal to learn. The marks are just one question, which means putting the correct statement there will earn you the mark, which means you should spend less than a minute, less than a second actually, just a second for each of those questions. But we're gonna go into details and understand how to work with numbers. And this is for the sake of those who are revising or are doing it for the first time, or they missed the concept in class. All right, let's get down to work. So we are looking at nearest 10, nearest 100. So A, we are looking at this number 6789. We are taking it to the nearest 100, okay. So from the number concepts, we know that these ones are units, these ones are tens, these ones are hundreds, and these ones are thousands. All right. So from this number, we have to locate our 100, the number, our 100, the unit, the digit that rests in the 100, and that digit will be 7. This is units, tens, hundreds. So that is the value we are looking at. Now, when we are estimating, we're either rounding up or rounding down based on the neighboring number after the subject number. Our subject number is 7. So we look at 8, the next number, which is 8 there. Now the rule is that if the next number is greater than 5, is greater or equal to 5, okay, then you increase by 1 the subject number. If it is less than 5, if it is less than 5, mean less than 5, then we leave it. You leave it. You leave it. You leave it as it is. All right. So let's check our question here. So we have 7 here and we have 8 immediately following. That means 8 is greater than 5. Right. That means we are going to add 1 to 7, and that will make our answer will be 6, 8 now. And what do we do with the rest of the numbers there? Then we put zeros to hold the positions of those numbers. Therefore, the answer is 6,800. Perfect. So you get your mark there. As you practice more of this, the more of this one, the thing just gets naturally into the mind. If we were doing to the nearest 10, for example, here, we're going to the nearest 10. That's the 6, 7, 8, and 9. Let's go to the nearest 10. Okay, looking at the question there, the unit of 10 is 8 there. So we have 8. So quickly, what do? We consider the number after 8 there. And it's 9. Again, 9 is greater than 5. So what do? We carry 1. We add, we increase 8 by 1. And the answer becomes 6,790. Remember, we do not discard the position. We must keep the position with a 0 or a note. Great. Right there. For example, if we were, again, suppose we was asked to round it to the nearest, that's 6,789 to the nearest 1,000. Okay, what would be? So the 1,000 unit, the 1,000 position is held by 6. Then we look at the 100th position, which we are nearing to, and it's 7 here. And so that means we will say this will be, we increase the 6 by 1, and everything else becomes a position holder. That's a 0, and that gives our answer there. Great. So keep enjoying. The next part is B, where we are looking at significant figures. Significant. significant. And we are supposed to estimate that number 6, 7, 8, 9, all right, to 3 significant figures. Right. Now, we know that all numbers between 1 and 9 are significant. They are significant, right? 0 is significance depends. Okay, 1, if it's between significant numbers, then it is significant. True. If it is before numbers, 2, before a number, okay, before a number, it is not. Okay, after the number, it depends on the question. All right, let's look at the question here. So first we do with 3. So all these numbers here are significant, and the first significant number is this. This is the first significant number. The second significant number is that one. The third significant number is that. So we will be looking at, we'll be reaching there and then looking at the next value, which the fourth significant number, which is 9. And again, the rules of estimation follow, and we apply the same rules as we saw there. If it's greater than 5, is equal or greater than 5, we increase the number which we are subjecting to estimation by 1. So in this case, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 3 significant figures becomes 6, 7, then 8 is our number subject to their consideration, and that increases to 9, and 0 has to hold the place there. Perfect. Good. Right. Suppose I asked you to write this number, that is 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, just simply to one significant figure, right? So see, 6 here is the first significant figure, followed by 7, then 8 and 9. So we are considering this number here, right? Then we are subjecting this one to estimation. Then we look at the neighboring number. The second significant number there is 7. Again, is greater than 5. So what does that give you? What will be the answer? It means 6 increases by 1, becomes a 7, and then zeros have to hold the place for all the other numbers. So pretty easy. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you.